Let's talk about the pre-approval process, what's all entailed with getting pre-approved, and how we figure out what the best loan product is for you. Hey guys, Glenn Groves here from GTG Financial, and today I want to talk to you about the pre-approval process. Now, there's many different ways to go get pre-approved nowadays. There's very much the click button, get mortgage, which is totally dehumanized. You can go through the internet and do this. We have that availability. But personally, I like to talk to a borrower up front, get to know their story, get to know exactly what they're looking for, and be able to answer questions live with them on the phone. So when we're talking about a pre-approval, there's four main aspects that we're going to be going over. I like to call them the cornerstones of the foundation of the pre-approval, being income, assets, credit, and existing debts. Okay. Now, when we're talking about income, specifically, it's what do you do for a living? What is your main source of income? Do you pull Social Security? Do you have any disability ratings? How are you paid? Meaning, are you W-2'd? Are you 1099, self-employed? Are you hourly? Are you salaried? Do you make overtime? Do you make bonus, commission? Do you have a history of any of these different things? We usually have to put together a 2-year work history. You do not need to be in the same line of work for those 2 years, okay, for specific loan products, but we do need to document the 2 years history. We can also use education. For example, if you were going through some sort of program in college, graduated with a degree in that field, and then started in that specific field, let's say nursing as an example, say a nursing program, we can use that time in school as work history. So these are things that we go over there. Assets, specifically, what kind of cash do you have to use for down payment and closing costs? Are we talking about using any sort of gift from family? Perhaps pulling from a 401k, 401b, anything like that as far as a loan to yourself to access those funds. Credit, do you know your FICO scores look like? Yes, the monitoring services such as Credit Karma, anything you have through Chase, Wells Fargo, what have you, those are going to kind of be close enough, but we're going to do an in-depth dive when the time is appropriate to run your credit, look at all three bureaus, look at your total credit history, and diagnose if there's a way to get you over a certain threshold to get better pricing. Existing debts. So things are going to show up on a credit report that we have to count against you for what is called your DTI, or debt to income ratio. Very much this is going to be student loans, even if they're in deferment, car payments, credit cards you don't pay off monthly, personal loans, any collection accounts. Okay, if you don't know these up front, that is okay. We're just talking about ballpark numbers, and we're going to have to verify it anyways with an actual credit report. All of these factors are going to go in to your pre-approval. We're going to have to verify employment with your employer, get a hold of tax returns, pay stubs, W-2s, 1099s, things like that to verify the income, bank statements for assets, pull a full lender grade 3 bureau credit report, analyze the debts, and put it all together into a calculation to come up with your debt to income calculation. Now, all of this being said, it's going to help, this and the upfront conversation is going to help us determine what is the best type of loan product. Is it a standard conventional plain vanilla type loan? Is it maybe something with an adjustable rate because of your risk tolerance? Is it an FHA, VA, USDA, government-backed type loan? Are you eligible for those type loans? Are there any first-time home buyer incentives or down payment assistance incentives that you would qualify for that we can provide for you? All these different questions we can go over in the initial call together. But most importantly, the two factors that we want to go over essentially are, number one, do you understand how this process works? And number two, what are you going to feel comfortable with as an overall monthly payment? Okay, because you could qualify for much more than what you're comfortable for. And what does that then equate to for a purchase price? Because at that point, we're going to know what your credit looks like, what kind of cash you have to work with, okay, and what your pain threshold, as I like to call it, of your monthly payment is. We work that math backwards into a purchase price you should be looking for. Otherwise, you're bound to go out and, we're looking at it from a logical standpoint. Okay. Otherwise, you're bound to go out and make an emotional decision and end up house poor or with something you didn't exactly want, or the payment is too much for you to take on, even though we could qualify you on paper. So schedule a call with us. Let's have that initial upfront call to take a look at even if getting pre-approved is a good idea for you. Thanks again, guys. Glenn Groves with GTG Financial.